Now, I'm not one to gossip, but I will bring you the tea. Welcome to Chronicle Speaks.
Please, I don't have any time for any gossip now. Eh? Yes.
Look at you.
KeKe Palmer is currently in the news, and most definitely for reasons that she would not want to be. She had to file a petition for a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend Darius, who is the father of her 8-month-old son Leotis. Now, her ex has been accused of being both physically and mentally abusive, and at this point, KeKe is in fear of not only her life, but her son Leo's life as well. We are going to get into this story and so much more, but before we do, please be sure to subscribe to this channel and hit the bell for notifications so you don't miss out on any news regarding this story and so much more. Now let's get back into it. So the alarming news broke yesterday that KeKe Palmer filed a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend Darius Jackson, who she broke up with last month in October. Now, according to KeKe, Darius barged into her home, entering the bedroom, threatening her, physically attacking her, lunging for her neck, striking her, and throwing her over the couch right before taking her phone. Now, this incident happened this month on the 5th, and police were indeed called, and days later, KeKe filed the restraining order and filed to have temporary full custody of their son, and the judge ended up granting everything. So let's get into these documents and find out not only what happened that day, but other days that KeKe is alleging she was abused by Darius Jackson. KeKe is requesting a domestic violence restraining order that includes custody orders because, again, they do have a son together. So she and the respondent, Darius Jackson, were previously in a dating relationship which started in June of 2021 and finally ended for good in or around October of this year, 2023, primarily due to the physical and emotional abuse inflicted on KeKe by Darius throughout their relationship, which is detailed further herein and will be further testified to at the time of trial. They are the parents of an 8-month-old boy, Leotis, and Drelton Jackson, born February 25th, 2023, also known as Leo. She said, "It is because of our son Leo that I was finally able to end my relationship with Darius once and for all and escape the abuse. Leo is the most important thing in the entire world to me. He needs and deserves to be safe and grow up in an environment free from violence." Now let's get into this most recent act of violence that happened this past Sunday on November 5th. She said, "Darius trespassed into my home, physically attacked me, knocked me over my couch, and pinned me down and stole my phone after I threatened to call the police. This was all caught on home surveillance video. Unfortunately, ending my relationship with Darius has not ended his abuse. If anything, he is even more unhinged, volatile, and dangerous to both me and our son. This past Sunday, November 5th, 2023, Darius trespassed into my home uninvited without my knowledge or consent and physically attacked me. Shortly before 11 o'clock a.m., I was in my home talking on the phone with my mother when I was startled to suddenly see Darius burst through my bedroom door. We do not live together and I did not invite him into my home. When he entered my bedroom, he was filming me with his iPhone and said I heard all I needed to hear. He demanded to see Leo. I asked him to leave. He acted as though he was leaving, so I followed him downstairs to ensure that was occurring. However, instead of leaving, Darius sat down in a chair in my living room. After continuing to try to convince him to leave, I moved around behind the chair to put some distance and furniture between us, as I was barely dressed and afraid of him. Darius kept repeating that he was there to take Leo, an 8-month-old baby who was being breastfed, to a football game. I explained that I did not agree that Leo should go to a football game and that we had no confirmed agreement or plan that he do so, and that Leo was not even at home. My sister L'Oreal had taken him to her former husband Frank's house to spend time with family. I asked Darius again to leave. My mother was telling him through the phone that he was trespassing, and I told him again that if he did not leave, I was going to call the police. I tried to remain calm, but I was again asking him to leave. He stood up from the chair, walked towards me, and made sure there was no furniture between us. He was yelling, leaning into me, getting into my face. At that point, he lunged at me, grabbing at my neck and face, knocking me backwards over the couch, stole my phone out of my hands, and ran out of the house. This was all captured by my home security camera, which will be played in court at the time of the hearing. True and correct copies of screenshots from the video are marked as Exhibit A. After Darius ran out of my house, he hurried into his car and attempted to drive away. I had blocked his exit with the recycling and garbage cans to keep him from driving away with my phone, and he nearly hit me with his car. It was only when my sister came out and there was another witness that Darius indicated he had thrown my phone into the bushes further back in the cul-de-sac and and got out of the car to retrieve my phone. This was also captured on the exterior security cameras at my home and will be played for the court at the time of the trial. Both my mother, Sharon Palmer, and my sister, Laurencia Palmer, who was upstairs in my home and came running down to help me after she heard me screaming, can provide corroborating testimony as to this event. The police were called and arrived before Darius left. After interviewing me, my sister, and Darius, they made him leave and warned him not to come back. They also encouraged me to file a domestic violence restraining order. I have requested a copy of the full police report, but do not have it as of the time of this filing. A true and correct copy of the police report will be provided to the court at the time of trial. Now, as to the previous abuse, on February 13, 2022, Darius choked me and body slammed me onto the stairs in my home after becoming violently jealous and irrationally angry over a bikini pic. This was also caught on home surveillance video. The incident this past Sunday was not the first or even second time Darius was physically abusive with me. It has happened multiple times throughout our relationship. Another time when it was caught on my home security camera was February 13, 2022 at around 6:30 a.m. The night before, Darius became enraged because I shared a bikini photo of my workout results while we were attending a friend's party, except that I did not share the photo with anyone but him. I simply showed it to him on my phone as I was proud of what I had accomplished. On the drive home, I was worried that we would get into an accident because of how angry he was. Darius spent the rest of the night yelling at me, not letting me sleep so he could keep yelling at me. In the bedroom, he slammed me on the floor and slapped my head from side to side. The next morning, he was standing at the bottom of the stairs near the front door, screaming at me as I was coming down the stairs. When I was almost at the bottom of the stairs, he grabbed me around my neck and body slammed me back onto the stairs. Again, this was captured by my home security system, and full video will be played for the court at the time of the hearing. True and correct copies of screenshots from the video showing him grabbing me around my throat and body slamming me down onto the stairs are attached here too and marked as Exhibit B. The abuse during our relationship was not just physical but emotional and manipulative. Darius would love bomb me and make me feel like I was the most important woman in the world, only to get extremely distant and cold over a perceived insult to him. If we were at a party or event and I spoke with one person too long or looked at someone a certain way, he would storm off in a rage, telling me I was a slut and a whore, accused me of cheating on him, and that I did not love him. Darius had a way of gaslighting me to make me feel like I was doing something wrong, even though I wasn't. Darius also physically destroyed things that were important to punish me. For example, Darius not only read my private journals without my consent, he then destroyed them. I had been keeping these journals since I was 12 years old. They were irreplaceable. One evening, on or around April 21st, 2022, Darius and I were in Santa Barbara. We went out to eat at a ramen restaurant, and Darius became convinced that I was flirting with a girl at the restaurant. I denied it. I tried to soothe him and suggested we leave, but he became more and more angry on our way back to the hotel and demanded we leave to head back to Los Angeles. We got back in the hotel, and Darius still insisted on leaving, so I packed my bags. We had taken separate cars to Santa Barbara, so we were leaving separately. When I was getting into my car, Darius grabbed my prescription eyeglasses away from me, threw them on the ground, and stomped on them. He then opened my bag, threw all my belongings into the pavement in the rain, and threw my car keys across the parking lot before he got into his own car and drove off. I had to put my glasses back together as best I could so I could see to drive, pick up my now wet and dirty clothes and other belongings, and rummage in the bushes across the parking lot to find my keys before I could leave. Our relationship continued to be tumultuous even after my son was born. The ongoing abuse was witnessed by my friends and family, including but not limited to my mother, Sharon Palmer, my father, Larry Palmer, my sisters, L'Oreal and Laurencia Palmer, and my friend, Lenoria Addison and Chelsea Sanders. Darius and I attempted couples therapy, and for a time, things would get better. But then they would go bad again. So much of Darius' abuse towards me throughout our relationship was based on his insecurity and jealousy that I became extremely concerned when Darius started to express jealousy about the time I was spending with our son. Darius said very disturbing things to me that caused me to fear for our son's safety with him, including how he understood why male animals in the wild want to eat their children, and a man's love for his child is based on if he loves the woman. Given Darius's uncontrollable violent outbursts in the past whenever he became angry, I became seriously concerned he would hurt our son, even if it was just to hurt me. Darius has gotten into the appalling habit of when he is angry at me, saying disgusting things to our son. Darius will be holding our 8-month-old son and saying to him, "Your mama is a whore, a cunt, a liar. No one wants her." I know Leo is still too young to understand these words, but the fact that Darius would spew such foul language at a baby is very concerning to me. On September 26, 2023, I was concerned for Leo's safety after Darius became very frustrated with him when Leo was crying while Darius changed his diaper. Darius started getting rough with Leo physically, and I stepped in to make sure he would not hurt him. Darius was getting angry, and it almost became a tug of war with Leo. Darius finally let go, and Leo was not harmed, but I was holding Leo, trying to comfort him and finish changing his diaper. Darius hit me in the head before storming out the room. I am making this request for protective orders without providing notice to Darius. I am afraid for my safety and the safety of our child, given Darius's erratic, unpredictable, and abusive behavior, including entering my house without my knowledge or permission and physically accosting me. I am fearful of what retaliatory actions Darius may take against me, including harming or taking our son away if I give him notice of my request for protection. I am asking the court order a domestic violence restraining order, including custody orders protecting me and our son Leo from further harm. Now, because of her statement and pictures that she's included, the judge did indeed grant her order of protection. Now, during this order of protection, he cannot possess any handguns. He cannot be around KeKe Palmer or their baby. He has to stay at least 300 feet away from her and the baby, and Darius has been specifically restrained from harassing KeKe by publicly commenting about her family, or her son online. Now, before the pictures were released, Darius's brother, pictured here on the right, Saronis Jackson, made a post and delete saying the following: "The most disgusting, foul, abusive, manipulative person I have ever seen in my entire life. Abuses almost everyone. Y'all will see. Just send positive energy to the babies. Any child in the middle of something like this does not deserve it at all. Wow, so damn sad." KeKe's mother, Sharon, did not appreciate Saronis jumping into this fight, so she had the following to say to him.
Look, I've never done anything like this. I've been in this business for 22 years. I've seen a lot of stuff, but I can't help myself. For Sharonis Jackson to post on his Twitter, the ridiculous stuff that he's posted when he knew his brother was abusive. I went to Sharonis over a year ago and told him that his brother was abusive to my daughter, and he said, well, I used to be like that too. What? So now he's posting on Twitter like he's this special guy when we know he's the biggest fuckboy in Hollywood. He's disrespectful to women just like his little brother. He taught his brother how to be abusive. So he don't get to act like he's this special guy. No, you're a fuckboy and you're a part of the problem.
Sharonis responded by saying, quote me, "I never once said that to Sharon, not once in my life. I have never been abusive to any of the women I've ever been involved with. I'm not going to keep on with this circus, but Sharon, the world is about to hear your voice very soon and the threats you made to my family. Be well, everyone. I know it's easy to get caught up in this, but make no mistake that all of this is very sad." And the only response that Darius has given is a picture of him and his son Leotis on Twitter, and he said, "I love you, son. See you soon." If you've been on my channel for years, you already know how I feel about domestic violence. I've been a victim myself. I do not play when it comes to putting hands on anybody. So I am really feeling for KeKe right now. Seeing those pictures really hurt my heart. I'm praying for her. I'm praying for her son. And it's not just the physical abuse, it's the mental abuse and the things he's saying as well. I can't do it. What I need to do is hear from you. What do you think about everything going on with KeKe Palmer, Darius, his brother, and her mother? Leave a comment, and you know how we do. We'll talk about it down below. Talk to you guys later. Bye. As always, thanks for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, hit that like button, and hit that bell so you don't miss any of my new episodes.